now I need to choose if to cry all the time on my bed, because all of us dealing with difficulties, and we can cry all the time about all the difficulties. But it's my life and I want to be happy. So I want to continue and I want to smile.
Welcome, everybody. This is Ordinary People with Extraordinary Stories. I'm Hannah Weisberg, host of this podcast. Joining me today, we have a very special guest all the way from Israel. We have Orit Ettinger. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, Orit.
Thank you to invite me.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
No, we really appreciate it because I know you're very busy with your time and you gave us of your time. Orit has suffered a lot of tragedies in the last little while, and yet she remains extremely upbeat and extremely courageous. And when I heard her story, I just felt this is a woman that we want to hear from. This is a woman that we want to hear about her story. And moreover, how she keeps that faith and that brightness and that smile through everything that she's been through. So, Orit, can you introduce yourself to the people who don't know you here? Tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, so first, my name is Orit, as you said, and I'm from Israel, from Otniel. It's a small village in Judea and Samaria. Really beautiful place, and if you come to Israel, you really can come. It's really beautiful. And I have 10 siblings. We are 10 children.
Oh, wow.
I have 9 siblings. Yes, a lot. It's like
Wow.
a big family, and I'm so proud of my mother. that she
Yeah,
did that.
amazing.
She is a hero.
Where do you fit in among the 10?
I'm the six.
6. Wow.
Number 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's good because I have the bigger, I have the youngest,
Right.
and it's
So
perfect.
perfect. So you grew up in a big family, and then go ahead, tell us some more about
Yes.
yourself.
And I don't know if to start in the tragic things, but this is our life. So when I was 16, my father was murdered in a terror attack. It was in 2016, and in this terror attack, also my mother, she was there. She was close to my father, and 2 of my siblings, Budaya and Teila, was also in the car. And my father was murdered, but my mother, she was seriously injured.
Oh, wow.
And also 2 of my siblings was injured. And it's not just to hurt in their body, it's more than that, because it's mentally, it's so
Of
hard
course.
to saw my father killed, and my mother,
So they were driving?
all this part you don't have.
How did it happen? They were
Mhm.
driving.
Yes, they was on the way to Jerusalem. My father was a driver, and then a car with terrorists started shooting at their car, and it was 29 bullets hit the car.
Wow.
And the first bullet hit my sister Tila in her stomach. After that, most of the bullet hit my father in his head and his spine, and the last bullet hit my mother in her head. So
Wow.
it was a seriously injured, and she don't have an eye now, and it's look
Wow.
not so good.
Wow.
It's a miracle that she's still alive.
Right.
Baruch Hashem,
Wow.
thanks God willing, but
And
it's still complicated.
how old were you at this time?
I was just 16.
16.
So young, and it was the first day of the summer, so I felt, I'm free now. I don't need to study anymore. And I was the happiest girl on earth. And then it happened.
And then it happened. Wow. Wow. And then go on. What happened afterwards?
Okay, yes. Everyone thinks, okay, oh my God, it's so tragic. And then I say, okay, just the beginning of my tragic story.
Wow.
So I hope you will be okay.
Oh my God.
Listen to the other part.
How did you, as a teenager, I mean, you're 16, that's a very fragile age. How did you react to your father's death at the time, to his murder?
It was really hard because my father was he was my compass. He showed me my way. He was with me in all my, all the in this age, you all the time looking for the right way. And he all the time, he was there for me. And it was so hard in the beginning. I tried to tell to myself, okay, my parents went away a lot of times, so maybe they went and they will come back soon, no problem. But then I tried to continue, but it's not work, because it's not like they went and they will come back soon. My father is gone.
It's so
my mother, she's still recovering, and you need to deal with this. And in the beginning, you don't know how to do it. But then I said, okay, this is my life now.
Mhm.
I will be egoistic. I want to be happy. I
Mhm.
want to continue. I want to know my life. So it will be hard, but now it's my decision. Now I need to choose if to cry all the time on my bed, because all of us dealing with difficulties, and we can cry all the time about all the difficulties. But it's my life and I want to be happy. So
Mhm.
I want to continue and I want to smile. And after the terror, I continue, and more than I founded a organization founded the organization that called Or Michael, my father Michael Michael.
Wow.
So Or, it's light, to continue is light.
Wow, you founded this
And we have,
yourself. You set this org.
yes, yes, by myself. I
Wow.
was 17,
Wow.
17. And I founded the organization because I was all the time with my mother in the hospital, and it was so hard, to be there and to see a lot of people that, it was a woman. She was 70 years old and she was alone in
Mhm.
a room.
Mhm.
And I said, how it can be possible that someone just sit in her bed alone without someone that, what does she need?
Sure.
Someone just listen to her, be her, attention, love, it's all what she need. And it's so simple,
Right.
but it doesn't happen.
Wow.
So then I found this organization, and now I have more than thousands of volunteers that come to more than 24 hospitals in Israel,
Wow.
and it's amazing.
So they go and
Thanks
they
God.
cheer up the people that are there. They cheer up the people.
Yes, they're playing the guitar
Wow.
and they're talking with them, and everyone, shine their light on
That's so
others.
beautiful. Wow. So you did this so
It's
you found this
amazing.
when you did this when you were 17 years old. And
Yes,
it's
crazy. I don't know how.
wow, that's incredible. Wow, that's amazing.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, so that's what that was your first tragedy in your life. Let's go on.
Yes,
What happened next?
and then actually, it's we're really close to this now. In 2019, my oldest brother, that he took the place of my father. Like in my wedding, he was instead my father.
Sure.
And in Shabbat, he did the kiddush in Saturday, and he took the place of my father, and he worked in the Mossad, and he was on the way to his job, and it was a car accident, and he was killed. It was like 2 days that he was, how do you say, heaven and the earth. He was
Right. He
between,
was hovering, yeah.
and exactly, and they didn't know if he will survive. But I said, okay, my mother, she survived, and no one believes that she will survive.
Mm,
But if it was the miracle, also it can be happen again, but it doesn't. And
wow.
and when they announced his death, it was, it was too hard for us. We are 9 children that Shlomi owned us. He took care of all of us. He helped to everyone. He was like a father. And it was too hard to us to lose again. We continue. We succeed to continue after my father was murdered, and now another one, another pain. And in Israel also, people didn't know how to react. This Mishpachat Mark family is no way that, how do you say, it's like, it's no way that the pain hurt in the twice
Twice.
in the
You were
same
struck
place.
twice. Exactly. Wow. That
Exactly.
must have been so difficult to handle.
Absolutely. And in that time, it was too much. After my father, I continue, and I need to choose. But after Shlomi, I asked God, Kiru, why you gave us a lot of pain. You create a lot of beautiful things. I'm just every day I'm going with my son, and I'm going out, and I say, oh my God, the world is so beautiful. Look at the sky and look at the birds, and everything is so perfect. The weather, and oh my God, I all the time appreciate every color in the nature. But but why you gave us also a lot of pain? Why there a car accident? Why we have a war in
Sh-
our country? Why we have
Sure.
terror attack? Why?
Sure.
Why we need pain?
Yes.
So simple question.
Very simple.
And I don't know.
Did you get any answer? Did God tell
Yes.
you anything?
No, I don't know how it's going on with you, but
Right.
when I'm talking to him, he doesn't
It
answer, so
doesn't
I'm
answer.
talking with myself.
Right. So what did you answer?
But
What did you answer that? How do you answer that?
so I was just sit on my bed, and I was start wondering why it happened. And I believe that, God, runs this world, and we don't know how and what He is doing, but I believe that He wants that we will be happy.
Mm,
He wants us to feel good.
mhm.
and we don't understand. But I believe that, okay, there is have to be a reason for this pain. And I started thinking, and then I catch that the after our wedding, my the father of my husband, the mother of my husband, Danielle, she also killed. She died
Wow.
from a cancer,
Oh, wow.
from the
Wow.
disease.
Yes.
And it was too hard. Yes, it was, and it was after our wedding and after that Shlomi. And I get it that when she killed, and it was a shiva, the funeral and shiva and everything, all the time they ask me, oh, how you deal with this? It's also was like that in your family. And
Mm.
all the time they ask for help. And I said to myself, if I not passed all of this tragic before,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help them. But because I
Mm.
lost my father, I could be there for them. And we are not choose our difficulties. I never choose to lose Shlomi and my father and a lot of things. I not choose this. But if this is my life and this is my pain, there's have to be a reason. And I can see the reasons. I can see how I can help to people because I dealt with these difficulties. Now I can help to another people.
Wow.
So I know that there is a reason.
Wow, that's quite incredible because usually we feel so self-centered and we feel like, so in pain ourselves that we don't want to help. We're just so absorbed in our own selves. And here you're saying that it was specifically what you went through that helped you to help others. And that's really what you did with your father right after you founded this organization. You went out and you helped others. And then with your brother, it sounds like the same pattern. You use that as a means to help others. Is there anything that is
Absolutely.
there anything that breaks you though? What happened next? I mean, next you had another tragedy recently. Uh,
Yes. Before the war, it was the end of my story, and I wrote a book actually about my story and about how I dealt with all of these difficulties. And I published the book 1 month before the war.
wow.
And in Israel now, my book is a bestseller because it's helped to deal with difficulties, and everyone in Israel now dealing with a hard life.
Sure.
So now it's so relevant to everyone. So the war started in Saturday, and at 8 in the morning, my youngest brother Bdaya was an officer in the IDF, and he went to his soldiers. And after that, my husband went to the reserves in
Mm,
10. And after that, two of my cousins, Elchanan and Menachem Kalmanzon, they went to the south, to Be'eri, Kibbutz Be'eri it's called. And when they get there, they saw a war in Be'eri, and they tried to help them, to help to the people that still stuck in Be'eri. And it was a lot of terrorists, Hamas terrorists, that still fighting
sure.
there. And a lot of people still there, stuck on their rooms. They tried to get themselves out, but they couldn't. And
Right.
Elchanan and Menachem took a car and get into Be'eri, and in 16 hours they saved more than 100 people. 100 people, it's
Wow.
unbelievable. And more than 20 babies.
Wow.
It's crazy, and I don't know how they did it with a car, just with four place in the car.
Yeah,
So
amazing
of course it was with God also.
such courage also to go in there and to help when it was such a dangerous
And
situation.
absolute, and they are not 20, 30. They was Elchanan was 42, and
Wow.
Menachem 3 5, how do you say,
35.
35.
35.
35.
Wow.
They're not so young,
Right.
but they did it, and they saw with a lot of courage. And after that they went again to Be'eri, but they said, okay, it will be the last time because it's too hard to do it.
Sure.
And they went to one to the house. And when they get to house, they didn't know if there will be a terrorist in the house, or a little girl that just waiting
Mm,
to be rescued. Then
right.
it's so big dissonance. But they went there, and terrorists waited them, and they shot them. And Menachem was injured, and Elchanan was killed.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
Elchanan, he was my cousin, but it's more than, because he lived here in Otniel, close to my house. And in my book, when people wrote the book and they heard in the TV in Israel, they heard Elchanan Kalmanzon killed, everyone said, all the book is about him.
Oh my
He's like
God.
your hero. He's your life. He gave you the power when you cry on the bed. He came to take you and everything. He arranged all the things for my wedding. He was like when I gave to, how do you say, Akdasha? How
A
do you say Akdasha
dedication.
on
A
the book?
dedication.
A
Yes.
dedication. So I wrote a dedication to all my siblings and to Elchanan
Hanan.
V'Shlomit, my cousins, and I wrote to them to my second parents, just to
Wow.
understand what the connection between me and Elchanan. So in Elchanan, I will be honest, I'm smile all the time. Okay, I wake up in the morning with smile. I cry and I'm still smiling. It's part of who I am. Okay, and in the Shiva of Elchanan, I couldn't smile. I couldn't do. I don't know to do fake something. I don't know to be
Sure.
fake,
Sure.
and I didn't know how to smile. You deal with pain and you succeed to do it, but after that again and again, and now it was too hard to bear, and I didn't know if I could smile after that.
Right.
And then the Shiva is over, and then I have to continue because a lot of people in Israel want it. I got a message from a very high officer in the IDF, and he told me, "Oh, I'm now we all soldiers in the north, and they have to hear you. You need to get
Mm.
them strength, and they need to hear you, and you have to come." And I didn't know what to do because I'm just crying. Still stuck on
Sure.
my bed. I couldn't smile, so how I can come? And then I said to myself, "Oh wait, do you think that a mother who want her son will go to Gaza to fight? Someone want to take the ambulance and to take dead bodies from the war? Someone want this war? No,
No.
nobody want. But we don't have a choice. And in war, we have one option: to win. And
Mm.
all of us need to do what we can. And they drafted to the reserves, and I'm sure that you're doing really good and important things. You have also Tzav Shmone drafted, and I have also. And maybe I need to talk, and maybe this is
Mm.
my Tzav Shmone. So I didn't have another option. So I continue, to do lecture in Israel, to give a lot of lectures, and I went to a lot of bases military. And one day I went to Tselim, and Tselim it's really close to Gaza. It's a basis military, and I was there and I talked to them. And then in the end of the lecture, I told them, "You see, there in Gaza, my oldest brother, Bdaya, is after me. I'm the sixth, he's seven. Okay, he's there with his soldiers. He's fighting. He was the first. It was just when they get together, they were the first. He
Hmm.
was the first one.
Hmm.
So I was so proud of him about that. And I told him in the end, and I don't need to worry about them. You just heard how many people from my family killed. No way. We gave to the country a lot of people.
Right.
That's enough. I don't need to worry about that." And then I went out to my car, and then two soldiers came to me, and they told me that my youngest brother there was killed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was speechless. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to react. You don't have power to cry.
Right. There's no
You
tears
don't know
anymore.
how
There's
to.
no more tears left.
Absolutely.
Right. Wow. So
Yes.
so what so how did you get over that? I mean that was the fourth close relative, very close to you who died. How did you overcome that?
I remember that in the Shiva of Daya, people in Israel, everyone, the war is hard, but everyone that heard about Bdaya, there was, if Bdaya mark families, no way how they could continue after that. You lost one time and you succeed. You lost again and you succeed, and now you can wake up after that. How we can wake up after that? And I told to my friend that asked me that. I told him it's so 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 sad, but it's also comforting because now I know that the life continue after this dark moment.
Mm.
Because when I lost my father, I thought that the life will stop.
Mhm.
No way that people will continue the move on without my father. He's my father. The world can't be without him. And now after I lost one and twice and another time, now I know there is light after the dark. And I know that, after my father was murdered, I married to my husband. And after Shlomi killed, my son was born. So I can't say that there is no good in this world because I have my son and he's amazing.
Wow.
And I can't say the life is terrible. I can't move on because my youngest brother was killed. No, I can't say that because I have a lot of good things in my life. Like, as I can't ignore the pain. I can't tell you everything is good, everything is perfect, and everything is for good. A kol tova. I can't say that because there is a lot of pain. How I can say that to people that lost all they beloved? How you can say that? But if I say, okay, there is a lot of good things, but there is a lot of bad things. We have dark and we have light. So we have to choose what to focus on.
Mhm.
And we need all the time to work on it, to find the good things in our life, to find the light in our life. And I have a lot of light in my life,
Wow.
Baruch Hashem.
I mean, you look at your face, it's full of light. You look at you hear how you talk, it's full of light. How is it that you have that much light? Like, what is the secret to having all that light? Is it that you focus just on the good? Like, is it that you were brought up in such a home? Is it naturally? Like, I'm trying to understand, how could someone go through so much tragedy and still focus on the light that and the good that they see in this world?
First of all, I think God with me all the time, and we are BFF. I'm all the time talking with him, and I feel that he with me all the time, and it's important, to be with a good contact with someone that manages this world. It's really good. Try it. It's amazing,
Right.
but I
But when
can
you
say that
talk to God, aren't you angry at him? Are you angry? Do you ever get angry with him? Do you ever say, "How did you do
no.
this?"
So no, yes, I of course I ask him, but I'm not angry. I can say that I can sit in my bed and crying and to be so sad, but also inside it's good. I feel good.
Mhm.
I feel good.
Mhm.
I cry. It's hard. It's a lot of pain. I don't know how you gave me all of these pains because it's so hard. It's really hard to deal with this. But in all this pain, I feel good. I feel that you gave me exactly the accurate things that I need to deal with. And I can say that, I gave a lecture. I'm a public speaker in Israel like 6 years. I'm doing that. But I think that all my life, I gave a lecture for that month, for that moment. Because now when I'm talking in Israel, families that they lost their love, they lost a son, sister, brother, parents, they lost someone, and they told me, oh, we didn't went out from our home like 3 months, and it's the
Right.
first time, and just for your lecture, and we came back home.
Wow.
But you gave us a how do you say, chamtzan.
Like a lightness, a brightness,
No,
no.
chamtzan, like
Oh,
breath.
breath,
You gave us the
a sigh,
breath.
a breath of life. Wow. And
Exactly. Now we can breathe again. We can breathe again. We know that it's hard, but we can deal with this because if you did it and you lost a lot of people, we can do it also. And it's so strong that if it is just saw me smiling, it's for them, it's a lot.
right. So you mean just the example of seeing you, just the seeing you overcoming what you've gone through, seeing you getting up, seeing you smiling, seeing you just continuing on. That alone is a breath of fresh air for people, is a feeling like they can do it too.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. That's quite
Mhm.
incredible. What is your message when you speak? What do you tell people?
First, I'm touching on the things that we talk about, that we need to choose.
Mhm.
He gave us our life conditions,
Mhm.
and now we need to choose. And if you will be sad or happy, it doesn't depend on your life condition.
Mhm.
It's depend on your decision,
Mhm.
and it's so important to remember that. And I all the time split my life into two parts: the things that are in our hands, and the things that aren't. And the things that aren't, the things that we can change, we need to put aside because it's not gonna change. If we will cry about that,
Mhm.
they will come back here. No. And if I will be angry about God, it will change. No.
Mhm.
So I don't touch this. I will focus on the good that in my end, the things that I can change, which is what kind of people we will be in this world. And after a lecture, people get out and they're not just smiling and okay, we need to choose. They said, okay, we need to shine our light on others. If I go through all of this pain, there is a reason.
Wow.
Because in my lecture all the time, tell them, we need your light. If all the people we sad about the people that not here, why we're missing to their light. I'm missing to the smile, I'm missing to the energy, I'm missing to this. And if I will go and cry all the time in my bed and I will be depressed, the world will miss that, my light will be missing.
Mm.
So I have to continue and I have to shine my light, because if I'm here, there is have to be a reason for that.
Wow.
And also for everyone.
Wow, that's incredible. So you're here for a reason and you need to shine your light and there's nothing that you can do about what has happened, but the only thing that you can do is choose to continue shining your light. That is an
Exactly.
incredible message. But let me just
Yeah,
ask you, okay, but when you're crying,
of
when you're
course.
in bed and the tears are coming and you're feeling such a loss and so overwhelmed with it, what do you say to yourself? Like, how do you get out of it? How do you get to the point where you want to shine your light?
I think that when I'm crying, first it should a lot of time it's I'm not crying just about me. It's about all my family,
Hmm.
because 10 children it's difficult anyway.
Sure.
And when we all the time, people talk with me, but all of my siblings need to deal with this
Of
pain.
course.
And also in my family, I'm the black sheep,
Yeah.
you can say that, yes.
Yes.
I'm the optimistic without brain,
Uh,
They don't know I'm so optimistic. So I'm also weird that I'm so optimistic. They
right.
are not like me, definitely no.
Right.
And all the time I said that we have another way to deal with pain. And when I'm on my bed and I'm crying, I'm so sad about all the difficulties that all my family need to deal with, and all my sisters that it's still so hard to them. And I saw the pain and I saw they couldn't succeed to continue. And for me it's too hard, because I have the energy. God give me a gift that I'm so optimistic, and that I really found the good things. I will be honest, I wake up in the morning with energy. I want tomorrow I will wake up in 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. This is the time when I wake up. It's crazy,
Why do you
but I
wake up
love it.
so
I really
early?
want,
Why do you wake up so early?
because I'm on the TV in Israel and I need to be
Oh,
in the ulpan in 6 in the morning,
oh
and
wow.
it's 2 1 and a half, and I need makeup and
Right,
all the
sure.
beauty there.
Sure. Okay. That makes
So it's
sense.
take
Wow.
time.
Right.
Yes, it's crazy. But I will continue the point that when I'm crying, it's hard and it's pain, but all the time when I'm crying, I know that what he's doing. I know what
Mm.
he's doing. I can be sad because it's sad, and I can be depressed because it's depressed. All this situation, but in all of this pain, I remember that there is something more than me, and I all the time remember. I will give you. It's a part of my lectures that I think it's really important. Someone, a soldier, after a lecture, asked me, "What how you can say that we have to continue? A lot of people lost their beloved. Look, there is a young boy, is 30 years old, and he lost all his family in this war. He lost everyone. How we can see the light? How we can continue? He lost
Sure.
everyone."
It's a good question.
Absolutely. And I stopped. I didn't know what to answer. And then I told them, just a moment, look back. Less than 100 years ago, it was the Holocaust.
Mhm.
And in the Holocaust, not one person from a family survived, one person from a huge families survived.
Mhm.
And if this Holocaust survivor, I don't know how, he take all his power and he wake up in the morning, he went to Israel, he made Aliyah, he get to Israel, he get married, he have a family, and he had a son. Benny, Rabbi Benny Kalmanzon, my uncle.
Mhm.
And Benny also chose to continue to rise his head and to have a family, married, everything, and he had a son also, Elchanan,
Mhm.
my cousin.
Mhm.
And Elchanan, in that Shabbat, he saved more than 100 people. And if this Holocaust survivor would have chosen not to rise, all these 100 people wasn't here today. And if all the Holocaust survivors would have chosen not to rise, maybe all of us wasn't here today because we don't have the the IDF to defend ourselves.
Right.
And if this Holocaust survivor choose, who are we to not to? So now it's our decision. If we did it, we can do it also.
Wow, it's incredible. Were you always so optimistic? Were you always so full of strength and so full of energy?
Yes, I want to say no, but it's not. I was okay. I will tell you a story. A short one. In the shiva of my youngest brother there 3 months ago, we sat and in the shiva, I told to my siblings, just a moment. I just wanna to tell you something. Just think about that. That a lot of people in Israel, they sitting Shiva in a hotel because they don't have house to
Mm,
be because
mhm.
they killed everyone and they destroyed the houses. So they still in the hotel and they doing Shiva in the hotel. So just thanks God, we're sitting Shiva, but in our home with our kitchen, with our food, with our friends. So thanks for that. In this Shiva, terrible Shiva, depressed, terrible. I found the light. I found the point that okay, it's a good part. I need to say thanks for that. So
Wow.
all the time we have light to find, even in
Wow.
dark.
Can you give us some tips on how we can look for the light in our own lives? Like, it seems like it's so natural to you to just find that good, find that positive, find that light. What about people who are listening to you and saying, "How do I do that in my life? How do I find that brightness, that energy, that positivity that you're just shining with in our own lives?"
Okay, so I have two things. One things I'm doing a very beautiful things that you can take it also. It's amazing. I think it's really helped me. I'm doing that like for more than 4 years. I'm going in the shkia. How do you say shkia? Sunset.
Sunset. Mhm.
Sun
Sunset.
Sunset. In the sunset, I'm going out and I just stop and it's called Rega Toda, a moment for thank,
Right.
something like
For
that. I don't know
for
how
gratitude, yes.
exactly. And I say Rega Toda about, and now I need to find about what. Sometimes it's about the view, sometimes about the weather, about the good things that I have today. And I'm doing that every day, and it doesn't matter if it was a terrible day, amazing day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just try to stop myself and to choose to find something, one thing, not more. But when I start to think, a lot of things, okay, oh my God, it was so amazing to me. And my son was so incredible and I just stopped that. That everything is crazy. No, just stop and find the good things. So this one, and another one,
That's
to
beautiful.
just sit. Thank you. I'm doing that in Israel in my story in the Instagram, and a lot of people in Israel start to do it
Right.
also with their
Sure.
children.
Just that one
And
moment where you think
now
of the good thing. It makes so much sense. Yes.
and it's amazing. My son, he was in the bed and he took me. No, no, mommy, we didn't say rega
Oh,
to that. We need
wow.
to do that.
Wow.
It took me because it's normal in our home. We're doing that all the
That's
time. It's
amazing that you
important.
raise him with that. That will be part of his upbringing. That will be part of how his whole perspective.
He doing that when he was 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
So
the
that's the first thing. What was the second thing? The regatoda?
second, exactly. In the morning, people wake up and they don't have power to wake up in the morning, and I can understand that. But every day, every morning, I wake up and I think, okay, my father was murdered. My youngest brother, my oldest brother, and Hanan, my cousin. How I can wake up? And then I stop and I say, okay, just a moment, Orit. There is someone that now in the hospital and they diagnosed a disease
Mm,
and she have maybe 1 week to
mm,
survive. 1 week to live. And she praying for 1 day in this world. And I don't have power to wake up.
wow.
She praying for that. And then I look at the mirror and I say to myself, oh my God, I have eyes to see. I can see the world. And try to imagine that we was without uh, eyes. Try to imagine how we can talk. I didn't knew how you're so beautiful. I didn't know that because I didn't know what is the color of your hair. I didn't know. But
Right.
every morning I wake up. Oh my God, I have eyes to see. I can talk. Try to imagine that you didn't have a teeth.
Right.
oh my God, I didn't know if you would still smiling.
Right.
Okay, so you need to appreciate that, but we are not thinking about that. But why not?
Right.
And if we all the time work on it, to wake up in the morning, to look at the mirror and to say, oh my God, thank you for air, thank you for dress, thank you for the smile, eyes, everything. Okay, now I want to live my life. Now I want to continue. I want to wake up in the morning. I want to do it. Not because I have to wake up, because I want to live. I want to wake up in the morning.
Wow, that's so powerful. I mean, what you're saying is just so powerful, and it really the way that you say it with such conviction, it's really a lesson for all of us in how we can be leading our lives. You said at one point, you said, "I have outstanding psychologists, but God is my psychologist." Can,
Absolutely.
and you speak with him all the time. Can you tell us a little about, were you always so close to God? Did you always feel this connection? And how does a person foster that relationship? How does a person make sure that God is so much a part of their lives?
First, I choose to see
Hmm.
that he is here.
Hmm.
Because in Israel now, I can say that a lot of people all the time say me, how you still believing?
Right.
How you can believe?
Right.
You see a lot of, every day we hear about another soldiers that died. How you can say that? How you can believe him, that you know what he's doing?
Right.
Because everyone thinks that, what he's doing is, it's unbelievable, and it's a lot of pain here. And I all the time, the part of to believe is that I know that I can't understand, that I
Hmm.
don't try to understand, because I will not understand it, because we all the time looking at the right now it's pain, right now it's terrible, right now it's so dark. But if you will go to, to see the macro,
Hmm.
it's more than that. And if you will look, in all our history,
Hmm.
the Holocaust was terrible, and
Hmm.
look where we are now.
Hmm.
And all the time, we not need to focus on the good that we can change, because it's not gonna change. I need all the time, and all the time, I take all my energy to focus on the good that I can do, what I can help to the world to be a better place. And if I will just be depressed and be angry on God, okay, what now? Someone tells me, how you can't continue. What my option? What I can do? I can sit on my bed. Okay, it's so sad. Okay, what now?
Right.
Okay, we angry. Okay, what next? You have to continue, and I want to continue. I'm all the time talking with them, and if it was different, I think our contact,
Hmm.
our
Relationship.
our connection, relationship. Oh, relationship. We move on. Really,
Right.
relationship. Um, but it was. I think it all the time was good.
Hmm.
Sometimes, I can't understand him, and it's okay for me,
Hmm.
to say, okay, I don't know what are you doing, and I ask him, what are you doing? How you took your Hanan from me, how you can do it. But in that moment, I most of the time say, I really don't know what you are doing, but you have the luck is that I trust you, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that I trust you. And I thanks to my dad that he gave me this believer, that I'm so believer.
Right.
I really trust God. So, and this is for my parents, I think so.
What a gift.
I really
What a
appreciate
gift.
them.
Yeah, what a gift to be
Absolutely,
given.
absolutely.
How does your family react when you're so positive? Do they resent your positivity?
And I can say that first, I'm so proud of them, really. All of them fighting, really fighting to continue and to
Mm.
live and to be. It's
Mhm.
not normal, and it's not to live.
No.
It's not simple,
Sure.
and I'm so proud of them. And I think I see all the times that the difference between the beginning when my father was murdered, that everyone was shocked. How she's so happy, she need to be
Right.
depressed, she need
Right.
to cry all the time. How she look so so happy. But now they know me. Now they
Mhm.
know that it's from inside. And after I wrote my book, because my book is really, how do you say, chasuf, really open,
Mm. Mhm.
everyone can read every conflict in my heart. It's
Right.
really, really strong. This way people really love it. This
Sure.
why it's bestseller in
What
Israel.
is your book
But also
called?
my
What's the book called?
broken broken ray of light.
Wow.
And I will tell you that the meaning, it's so strong. Broken ray of light, because everyone is ray of light,
Right.
and everyone dealing with difficulties, and we can't ignore the difficulties, because it makes us to be who we are.
Right.
But when a ray of light breaks, it creates many more tiny
Oh,
lights.
wow.
So from the pain, it will be another light.
Wow.
And so that's the meaning of the book. And I after the book published, my families, I felt that now they understand me.
Hmm.
Now they can see that it's not just a smile in the
Right.
book. You see, and you were reading exactly what is going on inside, and after that you see, this way she smiled, and now we can understand how it happened.
Wow.
It's not just
Right. It's
fake.
not,
So now they understand
they
more.
understand what you went through and how you work through it, and that's so important. Is your
Exactly.
book available in English?
We work on it
You're working
now.
on it now.
Bezrat
Okay, we're
Hashem. It
looking
will be
forward.
soon.
Yes, absolutely. I think
Uh-huh.
we all need it. It just struck me that your name is Orit from Or, which is light, and you're such a light. You're such a
Right.
shining light. Even in the darkness.
Mishtaderet.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to do my
Oh,
best.
Reed, I know your schedule is like crazy and you're going to be waking up in a few hours, but can you just share with us what are some dreams for your future? What are some thoughts that you hope for your future? What are you looking forward to?
When you have a lot of difficulties in your life and you lost a lot of people, you can't schedule
Right.
next,
No,
because we don't know what will be. A
of
lot of
course.
schedule canceled when
Right.
I after Shlomi, after Bdaya, El Hanan. It was unbelievable. But I think that my dream now, I don't have a dream. My dream is just I want to be good.
Wow.
I want to be a good person. I every morning wake up. I just want to be a good person. I want to touch people. I want to give people strength. I want to be a good person that succeed to give power to people, and to shine my light in others in my way. And I'm just trying to be good. That's
I
all.
love that answer because I think so often we think about, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And you're right, things are just not scheduled. But what strikes me is how much you live in the moment, how you see the good in every moment. And that's really that's maybe
Absolutely.
the secret of how you manage to cope with everything. You see the good in everything and in every moment, and I guess in every person. So
I'm
that's
trying.
really incredible. Um, Marie, thank you so much for joining us. If you could just sum up in one sentence what you'd like your readers the listeners to hear from this discussion, what would you want people to take away from this?
I think that the most important, that it doesn't matter what we're going through. It doesn't matter what is our difficulties in our life, because everyone is dealing with pain and everyone has a hard life. But we chose how our life will look like, and we choose if to be sad or happy, and we choose how we will be in this world. If we'll be very angry about everyone, or we will be kind to everyone, we will pay a compliment to everyone. It is our decision. And I think everyone want to be good, and our soul, Elohai neshama shenatata bi teorai, our soul is pure, and we good people. We just need to take our light and to take it out and to shine our light on others, everyone in another way.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us, Orit. And I
Thank
wish you
you.
just continued joy and happiness in your life and no more hardship, no more difficulties,
Amen.
and no more tragedy, God
Amen.
forbid, but just to continue shining your light. You have an incredible message that you're giving
Amen.
to people, and especially during this dark time. And I'm sure so many of our listeners are going to take to heart the message of what you said, as well as the practical tools that you've given us, and what we can all do to find the light and the happiness and the joy in our own lives. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck to everyone with this life.
Right. Thank you. Wow, there are just some people that you meet in life that just provide you with a new perspective, a fresh breath of air, a real light that they shine. And I think if anybody does that, that's Orit. I just finished the interview with her, and her perspective is just awesome. I have no words for it other than to say she's gone through so much loss in her life. And yet her perspective is we can't change the loss that we've gone through. We can't change the difficulty that we've gone through. But what we can change and what we can do is create positivity in where we are at. And how can we do that? And she literally lives her life doing that, trying to find the positivity and the light despite the difficulty of her situation. She shared with us some really important and good tips on what to do, her moment of gratitude, her moment of realizing, there are other people who are in a worse situation than we are, and just to really appreciate that someone else might be right now diagnosed and not want and just be hoping to have that one day of life, and here we have it. How are we going to use it? So that was really a refreshing, beautiful perspective on just finding the light even in this darkness. If you enjoy watching these interviews, I hope that you are subscribed to receive them in your email. You can subscribe on Chabad.org/extraordinary, and you will be receiving these interviews on a weekly basis. They are also available on all podcast platforms if you prefer listening to it in that way. And as always, thank you for joining. I love to hear your comments. I read every single one of them. So please drop a line, what you enjoy, what you'd like to see, and what you were inspired about by this interview with Orit and the light that she shines. Thank you for joining.